Welcome to day 21. How to know the value of your promotions. Prioritize trade marketing. The Retail Solve Blueprint to teach you everything you need to know to confidently grow and scale your brand, build a connected community of loyal evangelists, and multiply your brand's impact, sales, and profits. If we are meeting for the first time, my name is Dan Lohman. I have had the privilege of mentoring and working with hundreds of brands from pre-revenue to multi-billion dollars in sales. This is a culmination of the best strategies that are working today. I've spent years testing and perfecting them to save you valuable time and money while giving you the edge that you deserve. If you haven't done so yet, download the free 30-Day to Prosperity Workbook at retailsolve.com/30-day workbook to help you get the most out of this brand building series. And go back and listen to all the episodes in this masterclass so you don't miss a thing. The strategies build upon each other in the order of the series. Please share these and help me raise the bar in natural. I want to take a moment to recap the last lesson. Knowledge is power. How to win at retail. In the last lesson, we talked a lot about the traditional go-to-market strategies, how most everyone uses cookie-cutter strategies to sell their brand at retail. These strategies are not going to differentiate you from another brand. Therefore, it's in your best interest to differentiate your product offering, the way you sell your product, and the way you promote your product, and that begins with becoming an expert in your retail partner. The point here is this. If you can help your retail partner get what they want, more traffic in their store, a competitive advantage in their market, and a reasonable profit in the category, then savvy retailers will help you get what you want. And this is what we're shooting for. This will give you a sustainable and significant competitive edge. And more importantly, savvy retailers might even reward you with incremental opportunities not available to everyone else. And that's a great segue to today's topic. How to know the value of promotions. Prioritize trade marketing. Trade marketing is sort of a black hole. Every brand does it because you're told you have to do it, but most people don't understand the dynamics and the intricacies of trade marketing. Let me explain. When you want to get more sales, everyone tells you you've got to promote your brand. So that's what we do, right? But when sales are declining, then the first thing everyone thinks about is let's cut back on the staff. Let's cut costs. I want to challenge those mindsets. Instead of just blindly throwing money after a promotion and hoping that it's going to grow sustainable sales, and instead of getting distracted by trying to cut costs, let's focus on where you can get the biggest bang for your buck and where you can do more to drive sales than any other brand out there. And this comes back to your trade marketing. A lot of companies think about trade marketing as the way to promote your brand, and that's only partially true. Trade marketing encompasses everything to get your brand in the hands of a shopper. The primary focus of a promotion should be, an emphasis on the word should be, to introduce your product to a new customer, not to reward an existing customer. The reason for that is if I'm a loyal, committed customer to your brand, then I'm going to go out and buy your brand whether it's promoted or not. At least that's the hope, right? So if you're incenting me to buy your product, even though it was already on my list, well then those funds could be better used elsewhere. More importantly, not doing this reduces your runway to get new products in front of me, to introduce new products to customers, to get new products on more store shelves. So let's break this down. 25% of a brand's sales are tied to promotions, and yet 70% are wasted. I want to stop here for a minute and address a comment that someone made to me recently. One of my listeners reached out and said that they don't believe that, and they challenged me to help them understand where these statistics come from. These are the statistics that Nielsen, IRI, and other solution providers provide. In addition to that, 25% as a portion of your sales, that comes from solution providers that provide trade promotion solutions. So whether you accept those numbers or not, that's immaterial. The point of this is that everything that you can do to maximize your trade spending reduces wasted spending, get your brand in front of more customers, and it helps you achieve your objectives. That's the bottom line. I want you to focus on how effective are your promotions. If you can improve the effectiveness of a single promotion, imagine what it's going to do to impact your sales. Imagine what it's going to do if you can get one customer to buy more products, or maybe get more customers to come into your franchise. Or better yet, if you can convert an occasional customer into a loyal shopper, because that's what we're shooting for. One of the biggest challenges that literally every brand has is that they don't understand the intricacies of trade marketing. Trade marketing is extremely complicated. So instead, let's break it down to its lowest common denominator and understand how trade marketing works. And then we can use that as we expand to talk about more retailers, more SKUs, etc. So let's focus on one item, one retailer, one promotion, and one retailer. By doing that, we can begin to understand the complex issues around trade marketing. So, when you think about trade marketing, what does that mean? Well, you put together a promotion. You've got to get the right amount of product on the shelf, not too much to clog up the back room, not enough so you have out of stocks. In addition to that, how do you price the product so that you sell a lot, so you get that boost that you want? More importantly, and this is the thing most people overlook, how do you develop a promotion that grows sustainable sales after the promotion's over? Let me explain. If you think about what most brands do, they promote their product and you see a huge spike in their sales. Well, that's great, right? Not necessarily. What you want instead is steady growth after that promotion ends. That's why we focus on base sales. So instead, let's focus on strategies that are going to help you build your base sales. They're going to help you grow your base sales over time. After all, this is what gives you an advantage, and this is what retailers really want. They want products on their shelf that deliver sustainable growth over time, not products that have big spikes with no long-term benefit to promotions. A lot of retailers don't differentiate between the two. This is where we come in, where we need to help the retailer understand that putting a lot of money behind a promotion that doesn't do anything to drive sales, that's a waste of money for them and for you. So, if a retailer comes to you and says, I want you to promote 5 times a year, and you do a deep dive into the promotion and understand what the impact will be, and you go back to them and say, you know what, 5 times at that level is not going to help me drive sales to the degree you want me to. However, if I were to promote my brand 4 times a year and leverage a lot of the assets around me, social media, etc., I can deliver sustainable sales not only for my brand, but for you, the retailer. That's the kind of conversation we need to have with our retail partners. This is why we need to become an expert in trade promotions. And we also need to become an expert in how we help our retailers grow by leveraging the strength of our brand, by understanding which promotions work and which don't. To help brands impacted by COVID, I decided that the best thing I could do is niche down and focus on the one thing that everyone else is overlooking. Instead of telling you how to go raise money, or instead of telling you how to leverage the same strategies that weren't working before the pandemic, when Expo West was canceled and our world was turned upside down, I decided that the best thing I could do is help you better understand trade marketing. After all, it's trade marketing that no one else is focused on. After all, trade marketing is where you can get your biggest bang for your buck. It's where you can maximize your expenses and maximize your distribution and maximize your ability to sell your product. To do that, I started a free weekly webinar series. The big focus of the webinar series is on trade marketing, how to leverage these exact strategies that we're talking about right now. And as a side note, it was an excuse for me to complete my signature Trade Marketing Essentials course. That course is soup to nuts, everything you need to know about trade marketing. In that course, I'm committed to teach you everything you need to know about trade marketing. More on that in a little bit. So why focus on trade marketing? By being able to maximize your promotional effectiveness, this is the best way to give you more runway for sustainable growth, more runway to fuel innovation. This is also a great way to reduce the risk to investors, so your brand evaluation is much higher, so that you can negotiate better rates when you do need to raise money. And by maximizing each and every selling opportunity, that gives you an opportunity to differentiate yourself from your competition. And more importantly, this is what retailers need your help with. To do that, I created a series of free webinars all focused on trade marketing, deductions, everything you want to know about trade marketing. And more importantly, I created a free trade promotion ROI calculator. This tool helps you identify exactly how much a promotion cost. It helps you also identify how effective your promotion was. You can even go into that report and game out certain scenarios to see which makes the most sense for you. And even better yet, you can also input the live information after the promotion so you can evaluate how effective you were. One of the cool things about this report is you can actually email it to yourself. So you can go through all the calculations, the report does the math for you, and you can send that report to yourself. And again, the benefit here is that you can look at before and after to see how effective you were. And every opportunity that you have to increase more sales, to get more customers buying your product, and to drive more profit into the retailer, those are the things you need to focus on. There's a short video about how to leverage this report on the trade promotion page of my website. So you're probably thinking to yourself, but wait a minute, I have trade marketing software. The reality is most of those programs are like QuickBooks for trade marketing. The reality is they keep track of how much you spend. They don't tell you how to effectively drive promotions. and they don't necessarily teach you all the things that you need to understand about promotions. This is due to the complex issues around trade marketing. For example, if you think about the way trade promotions are evaluated, you use syndicated data or retailer POS data to measure them, right? Well, the problem with that is that data begins and ends on the weekend. But yet retailers begin and end their promotions in the middle of the week. So how do you account for that? I've got some clever strategies around that. In addition to that, most of the data that you look at is commoditized. It's not focused on the unique consumer that you drive to the shelf. These are just a couple of things you need to be thinking about. The point here is this. You need to go well beyond any of the trade marketing tools that are out there. And this all gets back to how effective are you in managing your trade promotions. So if you've got a tool that keeps track of your spending, well, that's great. I certainly am not telling you to stop using it. What I am saying is that if I can help you maximize your promotions, that's going to make that tool even more relevant. And by the way, even the big brands struggle with this. Remember the numbers I shared at the beginning of this conversation? That 70% of trade spending is wasted, sometimes even more? Those numbers are for all the brands in mainstream CPG. Think about it. With all the competitive advantages that big brands have, if they're that inefficient when it comes to trade marketing, how is it impacting your small brand? For additional inspiration, watch the trade marketing webinar replays. There are several and they're all free. The first one, and the most popular one, is Trade Marketing Essentials to Grow and Scale Your Brand. You can get there by going to retailsolve.com Trade Strategies. This, as I mentioned, is my most popular webinar. In fact, that recording's had well over 1,000 people look at it, so you definitely want to check it out. As I mentioned, there are a lot of free trade marketing focused webinars on the events page on my website. Instead of going through each one, I have a free guide, Trade Marketing Essentials to Grow and Scale Your Brand. In that free guide, there are links to the different webinars. In addition to that, that guide teaches you what you need to promote your brand. It's your growth engine, the largest item on your P&L. This is my most popular guide, and this is where I encourage you to start as you begin to understand trade marketing and its impact on your bottom line. You can download this guide instantly at retailsolve.com/free guide 15. Remember, trade marketing includes everything to promote your brand. It's your growth engine, and it's typically your largest item on your P&L. And while most trade spending is wasted, every brand seeks to maximize their promotional ROI. There's a better way to grow sales and profits. So go to retailsolve.com/free guide 15. And when you're ready to dig deeper, go to my proven strategies to maximize your trade marketing ROI course. You can learn more about this course and how it can help you grow and scale your brand on the course page. And you can get there by going to retailsolve.com/trade marketing ROI. Tip of the day. The best way to reduce wasted spending and explode sales is to maximize your promotional effectiveness. Get more runway to grow and scale your brand. Get better valuations and make it easier for retailers to say yes to your brand. I recorded this on video, which has illustrations and additional information that I can't share on an audio podcast. You can watch the accompanying video on the podcast webpage, and you can get there by going to retailsolve.com/session 247. In tomorrow's show, we'll talk about how to maximize your productivity, prioritize important tasks, and block time. This episode will build on today's conversation. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in the next show.